Hello again, my name is Ryan Thomas, and today I'm going to explain why objects fall at 9.8 meters per second squared at an accelerated rate rather than just falling at a constant rate of, say, 9.8 meters per second. Just a little review of science. 9.8 meters per second squared means that objects are falling at an accelerated rate. They're not going to fall at 9.8 meters per second all the way down to the ground. They're going to go 9.8 meters per second in the first second, and in the second second they're going to go 19.6 meters per second, and on and on and on, every second going 9.8 meters per second faster than the second before. So why do objects fall at an accelerated rate rather than at a constant rate? Well, to explain that, I'll need to, if you've seen my other videos, you already know this, but I'll need to bring up the discovery that I've made, which is that spatial matter exists in the vacuum of space, and it is going to be responsible for a whole lot of phenomena that occur. One of those phenomena is the supporting of cosmological objects like planets, stars, and moons. Another is the rotation of cosmological objects on axis. Another is the orbiting of objects around others, and also energy formation. But one other thing that it does, aside from energy formation, which is an important point, and you can read about that in my book, How Life Began on Earth, which is available on Amazon.com. But for now, we'll discuss one of the other things that spatial matter does, which is creates gravity. So why does this spatial matter cause gravity? Well, when objects form in the vacuum of space, they actually take up room. So say this is a planet, okay? Before that planet was there was spatial matter everywhere. And there still is spatial matter everywhere. However, when objects form, because they're more solid and dense than spatial matter, they end up displacing the spatial matter that was there. And now that spatial matter is trying to get back to where it was. And that is what causes the gravity that we experience and what tethers us to the surface of planet Earth. Okay? It's also responsible for why things fall at an accelerated rate. You can watch my other videos to find out more about spatial matter, but this one will focus primarily on why things fall at an accelerated rate. So, since spatial matter is displaced by a cosmological object, it now wants to get back to where it was in the vacuum of space. So it's going to push everything towards the core of the Earth, which is the center of displacement. Trying to get back to where it was, it will take everything with it. And one of those things are objects that happen to be not at the surface of the Earth, but in the air. Okay? So when objects fall, like this napkin, okay, they fall because this napkin, even as light as it is heavier than spatial matter that's below it. There's spatial matter right here that's below this napkin. That spatial matter would support the napkin, but because the napkin is heavier than the spatial matter that's below it, this spatial matter here cannot support the weight of the napkin, and so it will fall. Okay, so why then would this napkin, or an object that is heavier, why would it fall at 9.8 meters per second squared toward the ground at an accelerated rate rather than a constant rate? Well, it's actually a very simple explanation. Objects, since they're heavier, we'll take my keys, since they're heavier than spatial matter that's below, they'll fall. Now, because they fall, we can add one more idea to the concept of them falling, and that is acceleration. Okay, and if you recall from Newton's theories, force equals mass times acceleration. So if an object doesn't change in mass, but it's falling, okay, it now is not the same amount of force that it was when it started. When it started, it was going, 0 meters per second, right? So it had a certain mass, and it was falling at 0 meters per second, so it had almost no force to it. Now, because the spatial matter that's below the object can't support the weight of the object, it will now fall and gain acceleration. Okay, so if the mass stays the same and the acceleration increases, what must also increase? The force. Okay, so if objects are becoming more forceful as they fall, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to displace the spatial matter that's below a lot more easier and a lot faster. And because objects are displacing spatial matter below at a faster rate as they fall and gain acceleration, they end up accelerating rather than falling at a constant speed toward the ground. Okay, so you can watch some other videos to find out more about why spatial matter causes gravity and things like that. But that should be a very basic understanding of why objects accelerate towards the ground rather than fall at a constant speed. It's because they're gaining force as they fall, because they're gaining acceleration, they're gaining speed. And because they gain force, become more forceful, they displace the spatial matter that's below, that's trying to support their weight. They displace that spatial matter below at a faster rate because they're more forceful. And that's why they accelerate at a speed of 9.8 meters per second squared towards the Earth's surface. Okay, again, my name is Ryan Thomas, and that's why objects accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared rather than falling at a constant speed. Okay, for more on spatial matter, you can read my book, which is available on Amazon.com. It's called How Life Began on Earth, and it has a whole lot of explanations about gravity and what causes it, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. I did, so have a good day.